That's what this movie was made for. Like, clearly,
Exactly.
I was like, they wanted to
This
do this
is
effect, and this is how they got to this effect,
uh-huh.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it feels like Terrifier kind of sometimes, where like he had the idea of like what he wanted the kill to be, and I had to build everything around that because it's
yeah.
spectacular. Like this is what you watch this movie for, and you go, yeah. Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide, Disco Citizens, the podcast where gorehounds
And best friends, Terry Gamble
and Julia Marchesi break down a different horror movie each week,
exploring a multitude of genres, subgenres,
and subgenres,
classic and cult,
international
and underground flicks alike, determining which films are the goriest,
and offering up horror movie survival guide tips
to help you stay alive. Those eyelashes, though. Just saying, Julia, shout out to BJ Colangelo for telling you about these eyelashes, because I think we're all going to need them for the apocalypse.
Killadilla. Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide, Disco Citizens. I am Julia.
And I'm Terry. So happy to have you here with us. Yay.
Yes, we are continuing our Halloween-tastic October best part of the year extravaganza. This next movie is also set on Halloween itself. This is 2018's Bad Apples. Title of this episode is Pumpkin Palooza.
Pumpkin Palooza, baby. Said by our dear Graham Skipper. Oh my God, I can't wait. Let's get into it. Oh my God.
The tagline for this movie is Rotten to the Core. This was written and directed by Brian Coyne, starring Graham Skipper and Brea Grant, two people we know and love dearly in real life. And also the DP of this movie is Will Barrett, who also shot Gaslighter, which is a short that we feature in, directed by our friend Gina Henry. So, friends making movies. And I had no movie.
Oh my gosh.
The movie existed, but I looked up, there was a Wikipedia page for all movies set on Halloween. And this is on there. What? Graham Skipper? Brea Grant? Let's do it.
Like how do we miss this? But also like incredible. I love that. You know what? Even when your friends are doing a bunch of stuff, this is like your sign right now to remember to promote the things that you're doing and tell your friends, because they don't know everything you're doing. Like the amount of people who call me are like, when are you hosting karaoke? Spoiler alert, it has been the same day for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. I only do it twice a month, historically. And it's the same days for years. People still always ask me though. So it's okay, even though I put it on my social media all the time, on all platforms, and promote it. Tell your friends anyway. Let them know what you're up to. Let them know what movies you want them to see or watch. Tell them. Because
and these two, as a married
they're
couple,
also very prolific. Yeah.
just oh my God, yeah, they both do a lot of stuff, and we will see Graham Skipper pop up in some of the other movies that we're doing coming up for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So he's all over the place. So let's go with a pregnant woman who was setting up a crib on Halloween. It's all going to go. Everything's going so well. Things are going to be. I
was like,
just
oh
fine.
No, don't set up a nursery on Halloween. That feels like bad luck already. Like
really?
I was like that. I guess as if you're sitting at home and you're like, oh, this is an activity I'm going to do while I hand out candy, I guess. But I would like, I don't know. It just feels.
Do you really believe that there is like a supernatural trickery element to Halloween that you don't want to fuck around with? Does that feel
I don't personally, but
you?
I just feel like in a scary movie that's going to go bad.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, that's not a good sign. Like that on All Hallows Eve, the night of Samhain and all the things happening going wrong.
The problem with that, Terry, is that people in horror movies don't know they're in horror movies. So,
oh shit.
Right? Like we could be in a horror movie right now and not know it. There could be a masked man standing on the side of the store right here, and I think we
already are, maybe.
Well, but the thing is, we have over 400 episodes of a back catalog of a podcast to learn from of how you survive movies. So I feel like I have learned. I feel good about that. I feel like I have learned valid lessons. I've also see things that have scarred my brain and will never leave until the day I die. But this is the price you pay, you know?
That's why I know I have a lot of friends who are like, I don't know how you do it. I would never unsee it. I was like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to. Those things live with you now. You collect them, all those experiences, and they become part of you. That's the beauty of doing this podcast and watching all these movies. So I know better than this mom to like set up a nursery on Halloween, but she doesn't. So she's very, very pregnant. When she gets some trick-or-treaters at the door, and it's very adorable. She's like, oh, cute. She gives out a little candy, but then she's done setting up what she needs to set up. So she turns off her little lights, is about to get ready to go to bed. Comes back to her little kitchen, and maybe someone's going to sneak in because maybe she didn't lock the door.
I
after
mean,
those last
this
trick-or-treaters.
there are going to be many horror movies if I got tips in this movie, but one of them is please lock your doors. Please, for the love of God, lock your doors. If you have multiple locks like I do on my door, lock them all because why not?
Don't make it easier for these guys because they can often find another way in, unfortunately. Yay, horror movie Skyway
Well,
tip. Check your windows too. But locking your doors is a very easy, quick deterrent. There was actually recently in my neighborhood, there was somebody going around stabbing people, and he only thing he was doing, I know, was cute, so cute, a couple months ago, was going into people's doors that were unlocked. So that is a good horror movie Five Guy tip and a real life tip.
yikes. So
Yep.
this woman, this it's going to be very, very awful. If five gore right from the front, a pregnant lady is going to get stabbed in the belly a whole bunch. And then when he realizes what he's done, he slits his own throat. This guy who comes in and we don't know who these people are. We get nothing, no more context. We are going to
But you
flash.
also see that maybe there was a baby that came out of that stomach as well, because you see a little writhing on the floor of a little baby. And so you get that the baby's probably going to survive, and the mom just didn't after the stabbing. So pretty brutal.
So then we see some friends, some girls with masks on. We're going to go to October 30th here. No mask allowed at school though, and they're going to get in trouble because they will not take their masks off.
Yeah, as you do, as you're not supposed to. I mean, depending on, well, they just have them on all the time. It's more than just like, oh, we, are just like, but they seem to have them on like on a daily basis. It seems like this is their thing, and it's also not quite Halloween yet, and they're already wearing them, and they won't take them off for class. They won't take them off for anything, and so that could be a problem.
There is a
Um,
lady who walks
mhm.
around Hollywood who wears a mask all the time, like just dressed in normal clothes, but there's like a full like very kind of blank-ish woman's face mask that's
There's
always
a
on.
lady in West Hollywood that does that, like a drag queen lady as well too, who like that's their look, and I have no idea what they actually look like, but I'm obsessed with that too. So it's a vibe, it's a thing. Like maybe they don't want to put on their makeup, and maybe they are dealing with something else, and maybe who knows. I support them in
Who?
their choice.
Yes.
But in this movie, though, in a horror movie, you don't really you want to see who you're dealing with. So they're all in the principal's office waiting to see the principal, and we meet our dear Mrs. Block, played by our dear friend Brea Grant. And she is meeting with the principal because she is about to be a new teacher. She's transferring from LA to this small town, and it seems like a particular kind of town. And we get Richard Riehle, who is one of my favorite actors from freaking Office Space and so many things. He's incredible as the school principal, Principal Dale. And he interviews her like a small town man, asking, "So where do you worship? Basically, are you into Jesus? Like basic like stuff." She's like, "Why does that have to do with anything in my job? Like that shouldn't
Mhm.
matter." And he's talking about how this town is going to hell in a handbasket, essentially, and there's some bad apples in this town, and we got to watch out.
That's right. That's right. So he asked her straight out, "Are you a God fearing woman?" And she answers in the way I answer, be like, "I don't really know what that means. What does that mean? Should I? You shouldn't fear your God, right? That seems like a bad thing. I don't know. I don't
Oh
know.
no, that's America. You're supposed to fear God.
Why would you want to worship something you fear?"
That's why you worship it, because it could do anything at any time to you. Julia, Julia, hello. Old Testament God says he's
I'm
a
so-
vengeful God, and then there's New Testament God, which is Jesus, which is like the forgiving God. Oh no, Julia lost it. Oh
I'm s-
no, oh no. Okay, Julia, you clearly need Jesus.
yeah, I
And
don't know why
so
that broke me.
I don't know either, but it's welcome to growing up in America and Christian logic. You're welcome. None of it makes sense. There you go. Easily debunked by a person who did not grow up with it. There you go. Um, so he seems very worried about, that, but she's like, you know what? Don't be worried about any issues that may arise. They won't. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be a great teacher. Um, and so he says, okay, great. You're gonna be great, I'm sure. And we need your experience. So happy Halloween. And so she leaves after this, but those girls get put into the office, and it's not gonna go well for the principal after that.
No, it's not. But she's going to go home from this particular town with particular beliefs. And we see her napping with her husband, played by Graham Skipper, who has to work on Halloween night at the hospital. They've both just moved there. This is like his first night at this new place. And so they're so cute together. And he's
They
taking a
are
shower.
They have really cute little banter, and they're really fun, but you get that they're also like she doesn't seem as excited about this new place as he is. There's still some tension there. Something happened. We're not sure what yet. They don't talk about it till later on in the movie.
Because
But you know, like,
she
mhm.
keeps trying to get him to get up and unpack, and he is not doesn't want to do that at all. Like no interest in it. She's like, I want to get the house settled so I can like be organized and settle down. And I understand that feeling. And he's not.
That's me when I move to a place too. I'm like, please help
Yeah.
me unpack. I've got to alphabetize my vinyl. I've got to put my little things and figure out where everything has a home. I need everything to
Yep.
have a little spot, a little space. And he's not a part of that. But you also get that she's also having a hard time doing this and probably could use some help because every time she goes
Yeah.
to open a box, she looks at it like with disgust and kind of disdain every time. You're
Hmm.
like, oh, there's something there as well that is, you know,
Yeah.
jarring for her too. So
Sure.
this was not
But
a happy move, but I feel that
no,
way
and I
with many moves.
sure. And I feel like I know this feeling of you just get overwhelmed. You're like, where do I start? I don't know where to begin. Like it's such a tremendous task that it becomes overwhelming. And it feels like she's very overwhelmed. And she seems to be quite fearful and not and trepidatious about everything, it seems like. So he's trying to be more natural and relaxed, and she's a little bit more stiff and awkward with him.
Oh, for sure. And
I,
so they're unpacking random stuff too. It's cute. He's like, "What is this R?" Like, those random like light up letters and like, stuff that you find. You're like, "How did this end up in one box?" Like, it's just
hmm
kind of the delight and also the joy and misery of moving. But he really wants to carve a pumpkin. So, he's like, "I'm on a mission to carve a pumpkin," and she's like on a mission for organization, and that's what the place needs. So they kind of, make a plan to do that, but he runs off to go get pumpkins and leaves her at home alone for a little bit
hmm
while a nosy neighbor, I love her, dressed as like a Morticia Elvira vibe, comes over and she's like, "Hey, I made you a pie." I was like, "Ooh, witch's pie. Oh God, oh God." And Mrs. Decker is our wonderful nosy neighbor. And she has the tea for the neighborhood for our dear new neighbors.
Yeah, she's going to tell her all about you got to be careful because across the street from you is Samuel, who is a sex offender who had to go around in the neighborhood and tell everybody that he's moving in. And so everybody's wary of him. But she also is really, really pushy. And you can tell that Brea does not want to talk to her. And so she eventually just kind of shuts the door. She doesn't have anything else to say. Like, okay, thank you for the pie.
Well,
I'm
she
going to
asked her,
put
she's like,
this.
"Do you wanna come in?" Like, under duress, like, clearly
Yeah.
not like a welcome in, but, like, kind of like "Are you trying to come inside?" And she's like, "Oh, no, 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 you're fine." Like, the lady gets the hint, like, I am not being summoned inside. And I love that as soon as this lady leaves, that our dear Ella, dumps the pie.
Yeah, right down the garbage disposal. I was like, "Yeah, I see that. I see that." Not from that lady, right? Dressed like that. You're like, "Ugh,
Mm-mm.
I don't know."
Not on Halloween, it feels like a trick, right? Feels like a
Yeah.
trick and not a treat. She even said, because she even says there's stuff in there that you might like little treats inside the treat. I was like,
But you
"Mm,
know who she is to me? She's this movie's Crazy Ralph, right? Like a little bit
yes."
where she's also gives her the like, "Hey, your door was unlocked. I didn't hear you unlock the door when you opened it, and your door was unlocked, and that means that you need to pay more attention because people around here are weird and it's Halloween." So she gives her the tip up top, and I'm like, "Yes, please do that." But then doesn't necessarily take it to heart. So you're like, okay, all right.
I think she heard it. It's just, it's one of those things where that's also one of those hard things on Halloween night where, like, you're opening and closing the door, you're answering the door. People don't lock it every time in between. Like, that's
That's
not a
true.
thing you do when you're doing
That's
Halloween.
true. But
I
she
feel
does
like
make
you
it
just kinda
very
leave it
clear.
open. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
very
Like,
yeah.
mhm.
I see what you're saying, but like
Yeah.
I feel like she's made it very clear she does not want to participate in Halloween. She doesn't want any kids
Right.
coming to her door. Doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
They make the like excuse of why this movie is so dark because she's like, you have to turn the lights off because I don't want people coming to the door, which I understand. But also, this movie is very dark, and I couldn't see a lot of this movie, and I was like, there's performances
Oh.
going on that I couldn't see very well, and it made me frustrated.
Oh, okay. I didn't have that issue, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's the resolution on the TV, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have that problem on whatever platform I watched it on, of light. I thought it was the lighting was fine, but,
Okay.
we do get a
Interesting.
fun little
And then
bathtub moment,
oh, bathtub moment. We had a
next
shower
where
moment with Graham Skipper. Now we got a
now we
bathtub
get a
moment with
Brea
Brea
bathtub
Grant.
moment. And so she's taking a bath, trying to wash off this madness of the day. The hubs, gets home and they have a little, she ends up pulling him in and dunking him into the tub with her, which is adorable. They're trying to figure out where their towels are. They only have hand towels. Like, it's that whole thing when you move, you're like, I don't know where anything is. Where's the blow
Yeah.
dryer? Where's any of the stuff that we have? And then we cut to from this cute little bath moment to the principal's office. our poor little principal, where the girls are in the office, and the secretary, of course, is going to conveniently go on lunch. And of course, as soon as she goes on lunch, the principal is about to get murdered because that's what's about to happen in this movie.
Yeah, he is going to get murdered really badly. He has a very impressive pewter heavy tankard mug that he's been drinking out of in these scenes, which they now use to bludgeon him real badly and then impale him with an American flag.
I
So
kind of
when the
love the American flag impaling him. That is a nice
yeah,
touch.
it
I
is.
felt like that was like, yes, this is America. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I
this is
claim
what
this
you
chest for Spain. That reminds me of that the Kids in the Hall episode where they did that in the hospital with little flags. They
yeah.
had little conquistadors. Anyway, one of my favorite sketches, very random. Sorry, kids. For those who don't know, Kids in the Hall is one of my favorite shows. We'll often reference, but yes, it's a great moment where the flags are used to colonize a body. Um, so the secretary, of course, pops her head back in when she gets back and finds him brutally murdered and finds this. And she is, of course, freaked out. So this is one of our first murders in the building, so to speak, of the from our twins.
Are twins. So she sees Robert comes home with his pumpkins, a mass load of pumpkins,
A
and
pumpkin palooza,
Samuel
if you will.
Pumpkin Palooza, and Samuel comes by. He's standing outside of their front door, basically smoking, and they're both looking at him through the window and having a conversation. And they are speaking at a completely normal level. But she does say, he said, "Who is that?" And she said, "Oh, it's the resident pederast," and goes on to talk about the lady who came to give her all the information. And so he's like, oh, "Okay, well, I'll go talk to him and ask him what's up." So he goes and does, and he introduces himself as the resident pederast. So he's like, "Oh, he clearly heard that entire conversation that we just had." So he comes back in and is like, "Hey, you got to watch it, man, because you think that you're being quiet and it's tricky, and you're not, and like that's going to be important later on in the film."
Yeah, so it's that's a really awkward moment too, where like it is that thing of like public spaces, but also like that guy is on their lawn, like right
Yeah,
by their window. Like it was very close. And it
yeah,
was
you
one of
could
those things
be
where it's like, no, dude, like, no, yeah, you can be places you want to be, but this is my property, so please get off it. I would have told him to
and
leave.
it's really the most awkward thing you can possibly do, right? Is like you can smoke anywhere in the world you want. Why would you do there? The only thing I could think of is like maybe he came over and didn't realize that somebody had moved in there because they're so new that like he's
No,
been
he knew
used to
people
doing
had
it there.
moved in
But
there.
now hearing the window, now he knew they were there. So
No, he
yeah,
knew
he
people
just
were there. He was there to go do his thing because he probably was supposed to go tell them what he needs
yeah.
to tell them. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, and he's, like, hemming and hawing and doesn't wanna have to do the thing that he has to do. He sounded pretty tortured about it earlier or later on in the movie too,
Hmm.
as he's talking about, like, not getting to even participate in fun things like Halloween anymore, the whole imperialism of it all. And so, um and I love the tip though too that you talked about how Graham was like, you have to have at least have the guise of forward thinking when he's nearby. I love that line where he was just like, you at least need to pretend a little bit like around, I think, a lot of these people till you figure out who's who in this town. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's the hard part of like being in this weird place where you're like, I don't understand these people yet, and like you're still trying to like jockey and figure out what you need to do.
And moving from LA to somewhere tiny is just a completely different way of life, right? And getting used to that and realizing in this first day, she's already realizing, oh, okay, this is going to be
There's
very
nowhere to
different.
hide. There's nowhere to
Yeah.
hide when you're in some of those places because it's like everybody when you're in a smaller town or in a place like that, it's like literally everyone knows everything that everyone's doing, and literally everyone knows who's who and kind of where they fall into, like, the continuum, and so if you break out of that or if you're a new thing to that, can take a little bit to assimilate, which is
You're
super fun.
you're from away, right? That's
You're
what they
from
say.
away, exactly. So
So
the masked girls, I love looking at them try to collect fireflies, like, out it's nighttime now, and the night has moved on, and so Robert finally our dear, Graham Skipper is finally carving his pumpkin,
yay.
um, but Ella has some notes.
Yeah. He says it's his grandfather, but she says, the mustache is a little dodgy.
Looks like the Führer. He looks like
Yeah.
part of the Third Reich.
Mhm.
So it's not the best looking pumpkin. He could have probably done a little bit better. And so I think it's hilarious that he has not done the best job.
And I really do hope that they let Graham Skipper actually carve that pumpkin himself,
If
I
he
hope,
wanted
because
to.
yeah, or if there's like a production design lady that did it. So the girls, meanwhile, are going to go to a lady in a trailer and shoot her a bunch, bludgeon her with a lawn gnome, They got
Yep.
guns now, just like, whatever. So the kind of fun thing of this is like not knowing what these girls' deal are, but they're giving these little hints of like, oh, they're chasing fireflies. They're having a great time. Like this is fun for them.
Oh, yeah,
This
this
is
is,
just
like,
like
their day. This
perfect
is their
Halloween.
time
Yeah.
as well too. There's this, like, "We've been waiting for this moment." And so,
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life,
and
dear
so
Lord.
oh my god, drum solo, let's go. So, we get a drum solo of a knock, on the door. It's Halloween night, and Ella, had told, Rob to, like, turn off all the lights, but he did not turn off all the lights. He left one upstairs on, and so it looks like someone's home. She also watches TV, so there's,
They
like,
can
a whole bunch
hear it
they can
very
hear it.
loud
There's a whole
through
bunch of
the
stuff she's
window.
doing that it's like, no, people still can hear and see. Remember, we talked about this earlier, and you're in that front room, like, they're gonna know you're home.
Mhm.
So, the kids knock on the door, and, she doesn't answer, and she doesn't, and the master trick-or-treaters hide around the corner as Rob is there, and he's like, "Hey," like she's like, they knocked anyway." He's like, "Well, so
You're skipping ahead really far though,
oh,
because
sorry.
yeah,
It
because
happens twice. Yeah, because the neighbor also has a life alert right after too. Because
right.
This is Rob before he goes to work. He, like, is still
Oh, before he
there,
goes
and
to work.
because
Okay.
they actually do it before he leaves, and then they come
Oh, he
back again
does.
later. They do it
Okay.
twice. So it's double trouble. They double tap. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Samuel does have a life alert, but it is not going to save him. It is going to save him. No, he's not going to save him. But the girls come in and he gets a hatchet in the back. Silly Rabbit tricks
But you
our
gotta
poor
don't
kids.
gloss over that he's got a weird slutty art project that he's working on because he is the resident pederast, and he does go off in the diatribe about how it does kinda suck that as a pedophile now, he can no longer really celebrate Halloween anymore, which is just like, oh, that's kind of the true thing where, like, it's like if you come to the door, he's not allowed to answer.
Yeah.
So, because if you're children out there, he can't do that. So, there
And it's
is
like a
that moment.
collage of
Mhm.
men and women body parts together, cut out from
Yeah,
magazines, photographs, but then just a smiley face head. So you go,
that he
okay.
draws.
Yeah.
So weird.
Okay.
But yeah.
So yeah, so Robert then
Mhm.
does leave for the
Well,
hospital
we
for
also get
his
the tricks are
shift.
for kids,
Tricks are for
line
kids.
here. This is one of the lines I think Julia loved too, 'cause, they smash him up and he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, tricks are for kids," is what the killer says, and I was like, "Oh, they got him. They got him.
I
They
got him.
know. This is a justified kill."
Mrs. Decker is on next on the list, and they. I'm sorry, I thought about you in this moment. How much you probably must have hated watching this. Choke her
'Cause
to
of the
death with
2
her
cats.
own dead cat. I was like, woof, jeez, movie going hard.
It's pretty bad. As she's, like, knitting and enjoying it, so trigger warning for those of you, yes, the cat dies. It's very, very sad, and not just 1, but 2 cats, it looks like, die. Um, and yeah, they force it down her throat. It's pretty awful. But Robert is back at the hospital, and he is, worried, and, this is his first day. He's tired already because he didn't get enough sleep because he was out carving a pumpkin and hanging out with Ella as she was all stressed. And so he kind of makes new friends with his coworker Macy. Um, and then Ella sits to watch TV back at home. And this is when she's going to get a ding, ding, ding. And her mom's going to call. So she's going to have a loud conversation on the phone right by the window that we know people can hear out of. And with her mom, who is clearly intoxicated, calling her on Halloween night to wish her happy Halloween.
Yes, and she does leave a message for Robert, who doesn't answer the phone. So they end up just coming in. So their MO is like they knock on the door, you step out of your door enough where you're looking out to see there's no one there, and they sneak in behind you. But this time they
But
get
there's
into the
also
house
2 of
somewhere.
them,
Yeah,
because one
exactly.
of them goes that's what I was saying, you gotta watch your back door because even if you lock the front door, one of them is going through the back or through the window because they've done this already on the couple
Mhm.
even at Samuel's house, they did this. One of them came in through the bathroom window while the other one was at the front door doing the ding dong ditch kinda thing, and so they did that this is, like, the 3rd time they're doing that too. So, and I love that she and, like, even the lady, their neighbor, Mrs. Deckard, also said, "Come back next year. I'm out of candy." And it's like they're like, even if you're out of candy, it's like if you're out, you lose. Like you can't run out of
Yeah,
candy. I feel like this comes back again in another Halloween movie too, right? Like you can't run out of candy. You got to make sure you answer the door. You got
yeah.
to decorate the house. If you don't decorate the house, you also lose, right? So you got to do all
So
the things.
so really, horror movie spoiler tip for this movie is give people candy when they trick or treat. Right? If they had given them candy, would they have just gone away? That's what I
Maybe.
assume because
I
they're only
hope, but I don't
tricking.
know. I don't know with these 2. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like that's a little bit like, I should have written this down. I had like an idea in my head of like it's like the strangers a little bit, like how they're kind of with the mask and kind of just randomly
Mhm.
going and killing, but it's like on, but they have with an MO on Halloween. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
like, this is the night that they're gonna do it.
Mhm.
Um,
So
mhm.
now she gets they come in, they stab Ella in the back, they throw plates at her, and she's able to escape to it upstairs and lock herself in the
It's in the
bedroom.
master bedroom. Yeah. And she tries to have a conversation with them through the door. Which I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." Like, she's like, "I would like to get to," and then you find out a little bit more backstory now. We cut to the hospital while this is happening as well too, and we find out why she's so scared and why she's been kind of so sad and reluctant with the move, because she and Rob had lost a child, and that's partly why they moved, because they wanted a fresh start away from that, and so it's like, "Here's our fresh start." Murder? Not great.
Yeah, so
Um,
he's
mhm.
he's nervous because he sees Samuel come into the building who has been stabbed a whole bunch, and he knows he lives so close to his wife, and when he tries to call her, she's not answering the phone.
He
So
lives across the street from them, like, that's very
yeah,
close.
and they do mention that they do live close by the hospital. I'm happy that they gave this character backstory to this couple to give us more of what we need to know why they're acting the way they did. But it makes me very annoyed that they have it at this moment because I'm like, you need to leave now. You need to go to her now. Why are you standing and having a conversation right now?
They
Because
should have
it's
had that conversation earlier, right?
yes,
When, like, when they were
they were
having that
inside.
little when they were
Hmm.
inside and he was asking where the coffee was, like, that's where I
That's
would
the
have put
one.
this conversation too. Exactly, because I was like, "Damn it, like, he needs to go home, like, right now, and, like, also be with her even if it wasn't whatever, like, she should have already been home." Same with you on that, but I do like that I also was gonna say it's The Strangers with Heart because it's like the strangers couple, you hate them in that movie, and this one you're like, you love this couple, and you get like, you don't want them to die, but they're still gonna have to go through some terrible times about ahead.
But it seems to me, and let me know if you thought this too, that they said that she took the baby's death very hard, of course, and there's a
Mhm.
feeling of because she does have that big knife that they had stuck in her back, but she puts it in a drawer, she puts it away, she doesn't want to like fight back, and it a feeling of like she was kind of suicidal anyway, and like doesn't have the will to fight back, and like was just would rather have them do it for her. Is that what you felt she was doing here?
I don't know, I felt like she was like, these are somebody's kids, which is why she was asking like, "How old are you?
Hmm.
Are you okay?" Like, she like her like mom instinct like popped on all of a sudden where she was like I was like, "Oh, this is why she's having this conversation with them and like trying to like help and intervene." She's a teacher, so she's used to
Hmm.
dealing with kids. She's probably dealt with troubled children, obviously, before, it sounds like. Do you know what I mean? Though, like all of her kind of training and like who she is as a person was like all coming together in this moment. I
Hmm.
felt like so. I think that was part of it. I think she just didn't want to be the murderer of these little girls because she's like, that's what she's like. How old are you really? But then they were fucking with her and they're like, we're 14, we're 106, we're 92, we're 12. We're like, they just gave a bunch of random numbers. And she's like, oh, they're not even in a space to like hear this conversation. Like she, I
Yeah.
think, was about to try to like reason with them. Um, but then of course Rob's gonna come home. And he's gonna come home at the very wrong time because these girls are still in the house. And they're gonna cut his Achilles heel and take him out
Yeah. So
and
and
carve
this isn't
him.
if I may, another homework star guide tip: turn the lights on. Turn the lights on when you get back. Turn the lights on at home because I was like, please turn the lights on. But he does not. Yes, he gets carved as a jack o' lantern. He is part of his own Pumpkin Palooza. The carving he
Yeah,
so
his
enjoyed
whole body,
earlier.
his whole torso is now like pumpkin carved, just
Yeah,
filleted
I mean
with a candle put inside his guts.
the shot from inside of his body with the candle in the foreground that you can see the characters out of. Chef's kiss. Well done.
That's what this movie was made for. Like, clearly,
Exactly.
I was like, they wanted to do
This
this
is
effect, and this is how they got to this effect,
uh huh.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it feels like Terrifier kind of sometimes, where like he had the idea of like what he wanted the kill to be, and I had to build everything around that because it's
yeah.
spectacular. Like this is what you watch this movie for, and you go, "Yeah, I didn't expect it." Graham Skipper, I was like, "No, no, please don't kill him," but
I
he's
know
dead.
we love him. We love you, Graham Skipper. But to see you filleted like that, also beautiful, and also to see poor little Brea Grant, like have to see her husband. Like she's like, oh no, um, and she's just like, just kill me to the girls. Like if you're gonna do all this in front of me, like and you can tell she's like, I've already gone through the fire. Like we know now that she's already lost a child. She's lost her husband. She's like, I don't need to be here anymore. Like, just kill me. And of course, the girls at that point, when she says, just kill me, they drop the knives and they walk away, which is crazy.
Yeah,
So
they won't do it.
they won't do it. That they'd rather her still suffer. And so,
But is it? I think
mhm.
maybe I felt it was a thing of like she's taken the pleasure out of it, right? The pleasure is the fighting
Oh
back and
yeah,
please don't. And if you're just
yeah. When
saying
they're
like
like,
please
"Don't
do
kill
it,
me," yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
if you're saying please do it and you're just surrendering to it, then there's no thrill in that. I guess for them, I felt that that
right.
was part of it as well.
Oh, I think you're right. I think that's what they want, but they weren't going to get that from her. So you know what? She was like, "Yep, I." But she goes and blows the candle out from his
Yep,
torso, which is a
she has her.
beautiful shot. Oh my
Yeah,
god! And
gorgeous.
then
Does
gorgeous
her
shot, and then
final girl crawl out into the sunlight, crying, broken.
well, first she's gonna pull that out, but then she's gonna stab the girls right
Yeah,
before this
that's
happens.
true.
So she's gonna grab the knife after she's blown the candle out, and she grabs the knives and she grabs the girls and she stabs them in the throats and unmasks them so she can see who they are. Um, but that's not the end of the movie. You think that's it
K-
as she crawls into the sunlight. I was like, oh
But
shit,
it's such an
there's more movie.
it's so odd because it is a thing where like they're gonna leave and she says wait and just walks over to them and does it and neither one of them struggle or fight back or do anything, like they just kind of take it. It's like, what? Okay, I don't know how to parse that.
I guess they also had a death wish. Do you know what I mean, though? Maybe, like, that's the thing. They're like, "Well, maybe this is the end of the road for us." I don't know. But
Mhm.
we find out it might not be the end of the road because there's a coda to this movie. And so there's a long ghost story that goes a little longer than it probably should, about what happened originally that we already saw at the beginning of the movie. They give you some context about what happened. Turns out those babies and that pregnant lady, from the beginning of the movie were the twins that go on this killing spree. This was 14 years prior, um, and so I guess they were freshmen in high school, and they talk about their killing spree that they went on and everything that happened. And they said, you know what? Actually, though, those bad bitches, I believe, are still alive.
Yeah, and so that all of so we were led to assume that the pregnant woman at the beginning, Brea and Graham, and this lady, this new pregnant lady, they're all living in the same apartment, right?
Well, the
That's
same
what they're
neighborhood.
sharing the
Well,
link.
not the apartment. It's because it's a different apartment. That lady who was killed, the girls, the kids,
Yeah.
were born in that was their house. It's a different house than where Brea and Graham were living.
Oh, I thought it was the same one. I thought that was part of the
No,
link of
that's
like the house is like haunted
no,
and
no,
lights showing.
no.
Okay.
No, it's the house that the girls were born in.
No, I get that, but I just thought it was this.
That's
I
not the
thought
same house.
okay.
No,
So anyway, it doesn't matter because they're in the house the pregnant lady's
because it's
in, and they
absolutely
are now coming
different
for
terrain
her.
and different front yard and different front everything. It's a different
Okay.
place.
We don't see the outside of the front of that building though with
Yeah,
the
they do.
pregnant
They show it
ladies.
at the end. Yeah. Oh, they don't show us there, but they show us the other place where it's like the tree line thing and all that stuff. It's totally different neighborhood.
Mhm. Okay. So we are led to
But
believe
same neighborhood, but different house. Yeah.
the violence will continue on.
Hmm. More violence. Setting you up for more bad apples. I think that was the impetus of the
Hey,
coda,
if you don't
right?
set up and get ready for your series, your long running, what are you doing with your horror movie self?
I think it's okay to have a horror movie that's just one.
I do too. I prefer it. Thank you very much.
The diminishing returns often that happens.
Yes,
It's rare to get the ones that,
almost
that are
always.
that are yeah, most of the time. So yeah, so bad apples. How do you
Give us
survive
some.
this?
Oh, how do you survive this? I mean, really, I think part of it is giving people candy. I think that saves you in this
Yeah.
movie, and locking your doors
Hmm.
and fighting back. I think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these people don't really get the chance, either don't or don't get the chance to fight back. So
Yeah. Yeah. Fight back, babies. It's okay. Now's your
okay,
time. So
you can
Gore
do it.
Factor.
You can
1,
survive.
yeah, not enough blood to fill a Dixie cup. 2, a puddle of blood. 3, enough blood to gross out the average viewer. 4, bathtub of blood. 5, it's a 5 if you're gonna see Graham Skipper filleted in front of us like a jack-o'-lantern with a candle inside
Goodness,
his belly,
goodness.
where his guts used to be.
Okay, movie ratings. Chainsaws. 1 if you're desperate. 2 barely qualifies as a horror movie, 3 seen worse, seen better, 4 not too shabby, 5 fantastic-orical. For me, this movie is a 3.5. There are things that I really like about it, and
Mhm.
obviously the performances are one of those things. I applaud everybody in this movie because they're all giving it, but for me, like, the version I saw was so dark I couldn't see a lot of it, and that's not the filmmaker's fault. It seems like that there's, like, whatever streaming service you watch and I watch different kind of whatever. Um, but I guess I felt frustrated with Ella because I wanted her to really, like, have a moment, and even the moment where she does fight back felt so kind of, she just says, "Wait," and then goes over and does it, and it isn't like a triumphant moment, and it's kind of, I don't know, kind of curious.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. This is a 3 for me. Um, Seen worse, seen better. I enjoyed the body of the movie. I just didn't think you needed the coda. I was like,
Mhm,
"Okay." I don't know. I just felt like it was like could have cut there's places where I just would have cut the fat. That scene, like, I was like, "Okay, great." Like, you could have done that scene in probably it was like 5 or 6 minutes, and I was like, "That scene could have been less than 2 minutes." Do
mhm.
you know what I mean, though? Could have just had, like, a flash of something. I feel like it could have been visual. It was just a lot.
I actually think
Mhm.
that I probably would have liked it better if they had cut the beginning and the end out, because I feel like for
Yeah,
me, it would be scarier if I don't know what their deal is. Like,
right.
why are these girls doing this? I don't know. They're just crazy. Like, we don't really get to know any backstory. And like that for me would be
Mhm.
a little scarier because it's the strangers kind of thing, right? Where like that is the point. Is like you don't know who they are. They are just strangers. They're just doing it randomly, and that's the joy of it.
Right. So, sweet, sweet, sweet.
But
Well,
watching them be a couple, it was like the heart of
worth
hearts
the
that made me
cost of
so happy.
admission. I
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
they're so cute, and their banter's so cute, and just Graham is a little doctory guy, I love it, and his little scrubs. I'm sorry, but, also adorable.
Mhm.
And I buy Brea as a school teacher in a heartbeat, like, that was,
Definitely.
really cute. And to see Richard Riehle, as the school principal was also delightful to me, I love him. Sweet. So, have
So
you guys seen this one? Check it,
mhm.
yeah, talk to us if you have or if you haven't. If there's any other Halloween movies you want to suggest for us, we're already programming for 2026. So let us know if you have any ideas, please. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, obviously priorities. So let us know there as well. If you are
Mhm.
part of that, they get episodes early and without commercials. Um, it's the video episodes too, by the way. Ooh, ah, oh. Get to see our cute little faces. My goodness, how lucky are you? Gosh.
I'm also on 2 other podcasts. I'm on JodoWOWsky, all about Alejandro Jodorowsky and his films and comics, and The Losers Club, all about Stephen King. Terry and I also do a show with the George A. Romero Foundation every month, the last Thursday, called The Horror X, where we talk to women and femmes in horror about their careers, and they're very cool. We talk to really amazing women. We have a great back catalog that you should check out and support because they're cool ladies.
Yeah, I agree. Very cool. Cool people. Cool writer. Cool. Okay. That's from the Superior Grease. That's Grease 2.
Grease
Shout out
too.
at the beginning and end to BJ Colangelo. Okay, anyway.
It's how you do
Shoot.
it. It's how you do
That's
it.
how we do it. That's how we do it. Anyway, cool. Have a wonderful week and a fantastic oracle Halloween season. Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Horror Movie Survival Guide is independently produced by Terry Gamble, Julia Marchesi, and Sierra Ryan. Hey, that's me. If you would like to support the show, find us on patreon.com/horror movie survival guide.